Hello, welcome to IOCODES. This is a complete beginner series in Java. If you are just joining us, I would love you to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up and also smash that notification bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you always get notified. Now, in the previous video, we looked at Java classes. Those Java classes we looked at classes that we pre-installed with Java that came with our Java JDK. And in this video, we're looking at arithmetic operators. Now, how does a program work? The program works with variables interacting with one another in different ways. Yes, in order for us to do that, we also need some of the mathematical operations in most cases, in some of the programs. We'll be looking at 5 of those different mathematical operations in this particular video, starting with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then we'll look at modulus operators. And let's get started. First of all, I'll declare a variable of type int, and to do that, I'll just say int, and I'll give it a variable name of number 1, and I'll give it a value of 5, and I'll declare another variable int, and I'll say number 2, and give it a value of 7. Just to simplify things, we do the addition in this first scenario. Now we're looking at values of type int in this scenario, but it applies to all values that are numbers, both for float, double, integer, long, short, byte, all of them, except for character and boolean. Even for character it applies too. We'll be looking at one of those in this video before we call this video an end. So now to get the sum of these two different variables, I can declare another variable and say int sum, and I'll say equals to number 2 plus number 1, and I can go ahead and print the value of the sum. I can say the sum of number 1 and number 2 number 2 is plus sum. Now there's something I haven't really pointed out since, but I've been using it for some time now, and that is the use of plus in this scenario. So this is known as concatenation of strings in Java. So because number 1 is a variable and it holds a value, now to fish out that value from the number 1 variable, I have to remove it from the double quotes, add a plus symbol, and include the name of the variable. So this is going to extract the value that is stored in the variable number 1 and add to my string. But if I am to include number 1 inside of my double quote, it's just going to print out the raw string number 1, and it's not going to give me the value. So this is known as concatenation of strings. Basically adding different values to my string. So that is how concatenation works. So we're seeing this is the addition. I will be doing subtraction. For that, I'll just copy this, Control C, because I'll be using it a lot. And we can do int difference equals to number 2 minus number 1, and I'll just paste this right here and say the difference of number 1 and number 2 is plus difference. Spell the difference properly, correctly, and we'll do one more, and that should be the product. First number number 1 multiplied by number 2, and you want to paste the product. So number 1 and number 2 is just product. One more, that will be the quotient. Quotient is the division of two numbers. The value is known as the quotient of two numbers. The quotient of number 1 and number 2 will be the next operation we'll be carrying out. So I'll say int quotient is equal to number 2 in this case divided by number 1. The reason why I'm doing this is because number 2 is greater than number 1 as the values. So I'll also close my current statement, and I'll say the quotient of number 1 and number 2. Reverse this, number 2 and number 1 is plus quotient. And yes, we'll deal with this for, and then we'll move over to the modulus operator. As you can see, I've run the program successfully. Here we have the different values printed out in our console, starting with the sum. So the sum of 5 and 7 is 12. The difference of 5 and 7 is 2. Let's say that's 7 minus 2. And the product of 5 and 7 is 35. And the quotient of 7 and 5 is 1. Now you can see that we have an issue here. The quotient of 7 and 5 is it's supposed to give us a decimal value. It's supposed to give us a real number. But in this case, we just have an integer value. The reason is because the type of quotient right here is of type int. So when this evaluates, it's going to discard the real part from the expression and store the integer part inside of our quotient value. Now to fix this, we'll have to take two more extra steps. We'll look at this step in detail. First of all, we'll take the first step, and that is to change the type of quotient from an integer type to a double type. So we've changed quotient from integer to type double, and I'm going to run the program one more time. I'm going to run the program again, because I'll run it again, not one more time. Now you can see the quotient of 7 and 5 in this scenario is now 1.0. Now it didn't just it didn't discard the decimal part again. We have the decimal part included, but still yet the result is not efficient. The result is not correct. The reason for that is because we are dividing two integer types. Now we have number 2 and number 1, and they are of type integers. And since they are of type integers, whenever we divide values that are of type integers, all they just return is an integer value. But because the quotient is of type double, we have the 0.0 included. Now this is the second step to fix this issue, and that is known as typecasting. So we have to typecast one of these integer value, which is we have to either typecast number 2 or we have to typecast number 1. To typecast, we have to include the parentheses and specify the type we want to cast number 2 to. So we are casting number 2 from a value of type int to a value of type double. This doesn't necessarily change the type of number 2. However, this gives us a new value that is of type double. So when I run the program again, as you can see, I have a new result, and my new result is the correct value, and that is 1.4. So 7 divided by 5 is going to give us a value of 1.4. I can as well take this typecasting and move it over to this other part, and still yet I will have the same result. The the whole idea is that we have to change one of the value from an integer type to a double type for us to efficiently get the correct answer. So that is how typecasting works. Typecasting does not just work for primitive data types, it also works for objects. As we'll be looking at objects in the future, we'll also be looking at typecasting of objects in the future. So we can also typecast the double value to an int value. For instance, to typecast the quotient value, I can say int typecasted quotient is equal to, when I do int, I just have to do is include quotient, and that is all. I can print it out and see plus typecasted quotient value, typecasted quotient. Just check that. I'm printing out typecasted quotient value is typecasted quotient value. So I believe you might have guessed it already. Because I'm typecasting a double to an int, it is going to automatically discard the decimal part, which is 0.4, and my resulting answer will be 1. So I'll run the program. Yes, this is it. The casted quotient value is 1. Before that, we have the quotient value of 7 and 5 is 1.4. So we've looked at the very 4 basic mathematical operation, and there's one more we want to look at, and that is the modulus operator. So the modulus operator is an operator that calculates the remainder between two values. When you divide two values, what is the remainder? So it gives us the remainder. In the case of 7 and 5, 5 can only 5 is divisible by 7. Sorry, 7 is divisible by 5 just one times, and we have a value of 2 remaining. So the modulus operator will give us the remaining value from this division. So for that, I'll be doing remainder equals to number 2 modulus number 1, and I'll print out the value. See, the value of remainder is plus remainder, and that is all. I will run the program. And our value is printed out on the console. The value of remainder is 2. I can also change this right here and put number 1, number 2, just to show you how the modulus operator works. And I'll run the program again. And see the value of remainder is 5. The reason is because the value of number 1 is 5 and the value of number 2 is 7, and 7 can only go into 5 just 0 times. 5 cannot be divisible by 7 because 7 is greater than 5. So when it goes into 5 0 times, we have the value of 5 remaining. So that is how the modulus operator works. So as you can see, we've come to the end of this video. We looked at addition, subtraction, multiplication, we looked at division, and also looked at the modulus operator. So these are the basic building blocks of our program, because we must start using these operations to interact with variables and do a lot more with variables. Thanks for watching, and once again, please do well to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up and also ping that bell icon in case when I upload a new video you always get notified. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.